And we are live for another WrestlePurists Dynamite review. We have got a lot to get into this week because it was an eventful Dynamite. Even if there was only 3 matches on the show, there was a lot that happened, a lot for us to chat about. But before we get into that, please do like, subscribe, send your super chats if you're feeling generous. We will be hitting up those in just a second. But before we do get to some super chats, Ayo, Marcus, we are back for another week of the Dynamite review, us three. We've got a bit of a schedule going on now. Marcus, how are you doing this week?
All right, Dynamite 250 happened. It was a polarizing show, depending on the first match, but we won't get into that. The Cons, decided to gift the city of Jacksonville a nice little something. The Jaguars throwback jerseys hit the streets today. And I was standing in line. I got me my Trevor Lawrence joint, so I'm living up.
T-Law is going to look so good in those throwback jerseys going 8 and 9, bro. I'm happy for you.
Come on now, bro. Be for real.
I'm happy for you, bro. That one game under 500 going to be fine.
You know what, bro? We got y'all Sunday night in Philly, bro. We got y'all.
You don't like, that's not something you actually believe. That's not something you believe, but
I very much do believe it, actually, but
okay. Let's go back to the grabs. I'll spare you this off season.
All right.
Football. But Ayo, you've had a busy day. How are you doing?
I'm good. I almost missed the review, but I knew that, Dynamite 250, it's a big show. That, there was a big match last night. Big match, no matter how you feel about, two polarizing talents in MJF and Will Ospreay. Like, depending on how you ask, they either the best in the world or you fucking hate them and they don't know how to wrestle at all. But they went out there, had an ambitious match, to say the least. I felt like I had to come out here and give my 2 cents on that. And Dynamite 250, bro, it's a big milestone. It's a big milestone. So I was like, I definitely gotta make the show.
It's definitely a big milestone. I'm not sure how much they treated it as a big milestone, but we'll get into that in just a moment. We've got quite a few super chats building up. Thank you guys, as always, for your generosity. Should we get into some?
That's right.
Should. The homie Anjan PN $2 super chat. MJ Fed and Elon need to be caught and compromised. My nigga Anjan lost his account last night. Cooking MJF, bro. Well, he didn't lose it. He just got locked out of it. He got temporarily locked out of his account. I don't know if it's back yet or not. But yeah, he flew too close to the sun. He had enough. MJF made him crash out, and his account got locked.
Oh dear.
Honest Assault and $5 super chat. Okada just like me, built for comedy but forced to be the GOAT, and also horny.
Hey man, can y'all blame that man for what he did last night?
That was a great fucking segment last night.
It was a very good.
Mercedes. I saw fucking losers trying to fucking concern troll, be like, so NXT would be worse than this. So NXT would be worse than this. Yes, you fucking idiot. And plus, well, if you knew anything about Okada, like before he got to AEW, like you knew that like this is very much the stuff that he likes to do.
Yes.
When he's not being like the best wrestler in the world and fucking like world planet destroyer or whatever. Like this is the type of shit. Bro, he ran around with a fucking balloon.
The man was yelling Scooby-Dooby-Doo doing elbow drops.
Yeah, bro, he's on Scooby-Dooby-Doo just to pop himself. Like this is Kazuchika Okada, bro. Like this is not nothing new. I'm not shocked that this is what he's got going on. Honest Assaulting, $2 super chat, support pro wrestling ceasefire. That was a podcast that Charlie did right before this show. Charlie wanted to tell our audience about it.
Yeah, get into it a little bit. So I was speaking to the co-founders of Pro Wrestling Ceasefire, and one of the talents that will be on the show, and the special guest host. It's a show running in the UK, the beginning of All In weekend. It's on the 22nd of August in London. If you want some more information on it, go to my Twitter page. I've retweeted all their tweets about it over the last hour or so. And if you do want to get involved, but you're not based in the UK or you can't come out to the show, if you go to the ticket page, you can still do a £5, a minimum £5 donation, and all the proceeds will be going directly to UNICEF to support people in Gaza and help them get food, water, and necessary supplies and all the stuff like that. So it's a pro-Palestinian show, essentially, to raise money for the people in Gaza.
Great cause. I hope they're very successful. Watch the interview she did with them after the Dynamite review. Stick around with us for this next hour and a half, 2 hours or so, however long it takes us to get through this show. But yeah, man, free Palestine.
Yeah, show that.
Angela and PN, $2 super chat. I'm in hell seeing my phase directions for All In.
Tell me about it, brother.
Hey, man.
Look, I'll say save for the Bucks. At least all my favorites are like doing something big, or at least something that's being treated as big. Is it what I want? Not necessarily. Bro, I guess the Acclaimed is the Bucks match, bro. Like, I don't get.
I think that will be on Battle of the Belts. There's a Battle of the Belts this month.
Hopefully, bro. Just make it the Machine Guns match, because TNA was huge. If the Machine Guns are coming, TNA was huge in the UK. It was bigger than the WWE because WWE wasn't like widely available in the UK, like during like the Machine Guns Prime and stuff. And TNA was. It was like
challenging day. Yeah, it was on big channels.
So it was much more accessible than WWE. So like people, like a lot of wrestling fans don't understand that. Like to a lot of people, like their wrestling fandom in their youth was not WWE. It was TNA over in the UK. So I feel like that could be the stadium match. Like obviously we had aspirations for Edge and Christian reuniting for All In. That clearly can't happen because he did an elbow drop off a 20-foot fucking steel cage.
Why did he do a splash?
I don't know, bro. I still think that he tried to do a splash and he just like lost all control of his body midair and like couldn't like lay out or whatever. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Shout out to Coco, bro. I hope he's doing all right. But yeah, man, Hangman. Who knows what Hangman's got going on for All In? Mox. I still love the guy, even though I don't think he's been doing the most inspired work in 2024. He hasn't been around. Swerve. I wish he was getting the Hangman match. Danielson, at least I love Danielson. At least he's in the main event. It's like it's a whole lot of Mercedes. Like at least DMD's a star. Is all I'm gonna say. And getting the best match of D&D's career would be a feather in her cap. I think Mercedes could easily do that, but a rusty Britt Baker,
she hasn't wrestled yet. It's scary.
Yeah, she hasn't wrestled yet. So that's why I'm like, that's if she can't get the best match of Britt's career, like I'm just gonna like this is gonna be the first time she wrestled in like a year, bro. So it's like you can only do so much when you're a GOAT. You can only do so much. Like she's like Mercedes is only human, bro. I don't know. Enzo Fernandez, $5 super chat. Anyone have Tiffany Stratton's PR rep's contact info? Asking for a friend.
I got nothing.
Funny you should ask that. Mr. Fernandez. One Monty of WrestlePurists. He is not only a Tiffany Stratton stan, but he is also a Chelsea football fan. A whole lot of racism going on in your fandom, Monty.
Double whammy, my boy.
Bro, from one proud black man to another, Monty. What's going on here? What is going on here, bro? A whole lot of racism going on in your fandoms. We gonna have to talk, bro.
Yeah, we can't be doing all this tippy time stuff.
Man, Monty's gonna be fucking pissed. Like, don't be fucking doing that, bro. Don't be fucking.
Nigga, stop doing tippy time. Talking about some. I want to see you drop in the DMs. Then how about that, Monty?
the homie Bam, $5 super chat. Hollywood vegan Danielson didn't show up for work. Hangman did. Miz better than Danielson. This hurts me. Kenny Omega carried Danielson. Hashtag we want Hangman. Look, I can't put my name on these things. But are many people saying it? Many people are saying it, bro. Many people are saying these things. Danielson bad? I don't know. I personally can't trust a grown man who doesn't eat meat. Pause. You feel me? So maybe these are some of the questions that we need to start asking ourselves. Maybe these are just some of the questions we need to start asking ourselves.
Maybe.
You're still getting hogtied, Brian. Just let you know
that. Jan Theodore, $2 Canadian, dreading a potential 4-way at All In for the IC title. It's gonna be Ospreay versus MJF 2, bro. I wouldn't worry about a multi-man match.
I mean, I said it last week. There's potential for them to do it, but I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. I think they're sending Death Triangle to Arena Mexico. I'm pretty sure they're gonna start heating Death Triangle up on TV. And you didn't see that, Charlie?
Yeah.
I missed this.
It was like an hour or so after Dynamite, so you were probably like, I gotta go to bed at that point. Yes. But yeah, Death Triangle announced for the July 29th, I believe. 26th. July 26th, Arena Mexico show is CMLL. Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, back in Arena Mexico, back in CMLL. Really Thank God. AAA is dead. And also, I don't know if well, obviously you didn't see this because you didn't see the World Tag League would be so cool. But also Commander, who currently holds the AAA belt, reposted the video package or like the little teaser.
Yeah. I saw he had reposted something from CMLL. I did not know it was Lucha.
You did, yeah. Okay. So Commander posted that he's currently the AAA Cruiserweight champion, but he is under AEW contract. So I think we're gonna start seeing a little great migration of AEW luchadors saying we done with AAA, going back to CML or going to CMLL for the first time, which is best for business, bro. AAA sucks, and it's not like a tribalism thing. Like we've been saying, AAA sucks before AEW linked up with CMLL, bro. Like AAA is just in the the fucking gutter.
Like they're actively maybe the worst major promotion in the world right now.
It's in the gutter, son. I don't know what they could do to fix it. Like before, all you could say was at least they got Vikingo. They don't even got Vikingo right now, bro. He fucking blew his ACL. So what? At least they got QT Marshall bringing Satnam Singh every couple of months. Phantom FTW 5-pound super chat. Max's new reign of terror into the Acclaim joining Blood and Guts into the Learning Tree into Britt running off Mercedes. Oh brother, happy 250. Yeah, we gonna get into that right now.
Yeah, we gonna rock.
It's not a super chat, but the homie Java said they have Vampiro wrestling. Do you know how long ago Vampiro said if he ever wrestles again, he'd probably die in the ring? That his body is just like so shot that he can't even that was like 10 years ago he said that. And he's still working, man. Like he's just a compulsive liar, son. He's just a carny liar.
What's wrong with you? What are they doing over there?
I have no idea. I don't actively keep up with the company anymore. I just sometimes see posts of like Jeff Jarrett there, and I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Jeff Jarrett throwing tortilla shells at people.
Yes, I think that is like actively the last thing I saw from AAA.
I low-key feel bad when Gringo Talent get like heat online for. I know Jeff Jarrett doesn't give a fuck because like it's AAA giving them the tortilla shells to throw at people, bro. Like this is the type of heat that they want their rudo Americans to have, like the Maggie heat and stuff like that. That's what they're into. But Kyle Fletcher, he just pulled up in a mask in CMLL and just got booed out the fucking building and had a really fun match.
And he'll be back.
So you don't gotta be a racism merchant, bro. You don't gotta smack people with fucking taco shells and shit to get some heat in Mexico.
Sometimes just exist.
Yeah, just exist, bro.
Speaking of people that do enjoy getting cheap heat, though, MJF won a title last night.
He did. Did win a title.
He did. He beat Ospreay in 59 minutes and 58 seconds. This match there's been a lot of conversation about it, and I'm going to chat a little bit because I have some things to say.
Get it off your
I
chest.
didn't hate the match. People have this preconception that if you don't immediately say, "Oh my god, this match is great," you hate the match. I have more complicated feelings on it than that. I think that they did some really cool stuff in it, but they were trying to tell about 7 different stories, which is what really took me out of it. I felt it was quite disjointed in the structure, and like once they got past like the 20-minute mark, I was just like, all right, this is running long, it is what it is, sort of thing. And then the pace changed again and the structure changed again. I'm just like, I don't know why we're just throwing ideas at the wall when you are 2 very competent wrestlers that can put together like a very stellar match, which I think they're going to do in the rematch that will probably happen at Wembley. I think the rematch is going to be 10 times better. But for me personally, this was a fascinating viewing experience. Even on rewatch, I felt the same way. A lot of good ideas, very disjointed in execution. I'm not surprised that Max won. Ayo?
When the match was announced, I knew MJF was going to win. There was a really good match. I didn't hate the match either. I have up and down. Like there's parts of this match that I loved, like sections of this match that I absolutely adored, and then other sections I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like I get it, bro. Like it's not the easiest thing in the world to structure an hour-long classic. Like not everyone is Kenny by God Omega. Not everyone is Bryan Danielson. Not everyone is Hangman Page. Not everyone is Kazuchika Okada. Like there's a reason why, like not just like the physical aspect, because there are a lot of great athletes in wrestling that I'm sure could run around for an hour. But there's a reason why only so many people are given the grace to do this. And I feel like if they just condense this match to 30 minutes, like people are talking about this much more positively. They went for a lot of things. In fact, they went for all of the things. They went for they did the oh my god, MJF can actually wrestle / oh my god, MJF could actually keep up with this guy. Like I thought he did the cheap tricks just because he couldn't actually hang and he was all talk. They did that. They did limb work. They did Ospreay's blowing a wheel. Then it was like, oh, actually Ospreay's blowing wheel doesn't matter anymore. Because I was just like, all right, we're 30 minutes into this match, and MJF just grabbed a hold. So you're grabbing a hold 30 minutes into this match. You're like this is gonna be a what's it called? A fucking, what do you call it again? A Broadway. It's gonna be a Broadway. Yeah, going Broadway, right? Going a fucking hour. And I'm just like, so they do, but I'm like, so is Ospreay just not gonna do anything athletic for the next 30 minutes? No. So he shakes that off, and I get it, bro. Like what the hell? Oh, that was my phone. I don't know if y'all could hear that. My phone was going off. But my sophomore year of high school, bro, like I got a helmet. Like somebody dove directly into my knee, like, and it went like the wrong way. Helmet directly into my knee, bent the wrong way. I was rolling around on the field. I was like, damn, there goes my entire season. My knee's cooked. I go off the field. I take some Tylenol, ibuprofen. It was just a knee sprain. I play the rest of the game. So like, yeah, like you can shake things off, but I mean, it's in wrestling, you don't really. That's not really what you try to go for in wrestling. You know what I mean? Like if if you're doing that, then it's like supposed to matter. So like you shouldn't really. I don't know. I feel like them like just do that towards the end of the match. Like have that play into the finish. Just restructure the match in a different way. And it's just I don't know. I have like so many feelings about this match.
Yeah. So honestly, the limb work is something that me and Marcus discussed before the podcast, because something that really grated on me is that Max did all this leg limb work, but they knew they were going to do the spot where Ospreay fucked his shoulder on the apron. So why didn't he just go for arm work straight away? Which plays more into the fact that Ospreay's best move right now is the hidden blade, because he's not doing the Tiger Driver. So obviously you go straight for the... That is just one of the many things that annoyed me about it.
It's a lot, bro. Like the whole MJF, oh, he can't wrestle. Oh, actually, he can thing they do every single big match he has. It's like, guys, we know he can wrestle. We get it. You don't have to do it every single match.
Mhm.
But like those are
Like,
just
yo, imagine if Orange Cassidy was still doing the, oh my god, like he's not just a lazy piece of shit. He's actually really quick and athletic and he can go, guys. Like, imagine if he did that every match, bro. It's just like, and yeah, he still does like the pocket stuff, but it's not the same thing. You know, if you go back and actually like watch like early OC where he's just like literally just acting like a sloth before like turning up. Like if he did that it would be so grating, bro. And MJF just like he sticks to that formula. I don't know why, but I guess he felt like he needed to fill in an hour here.
Yeah, and then the crowd work also. That was very clearly filling hour stuff. As much as I liked some of it, and then they did the whole brawl into the crowd bit. Just beating the fuck out of MJF in the crowd. That shit was hilarious. I can't hold you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that popped me huge. That was a great moment. I've seen like 50 different camera angles of that shit. Little girl.
Yeah, shout MJF's ass. Yeah, and that was cool. Then the hidden blade from the second rope. That was a great camera shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like it was so many things happening. It was the typical feel each other out, brawl in the crowd, tables, limb work, Doc Sampson stepping in, stopping the match in picture, which I do not like in American wrestling, and I need companies to stop doing it because it slows these matches to a crawl. I know what you're going for, but stop doing it. And then the finish. Jesus, sweet Georgia Brown, the finish. So if you're gonna do the damn will he or won't he hit the Tiger Drop thing, guys, we got it. He's gonna he's gonna be conflicted. But Will, I love you, brother. No one is going to think of you differently. No one's going to turn on you. No one is going to look at you sideways if you hit a Tiger Driver on fucking MJF.
Bro, we've been doing this since Revolution. And how long ago was that? March?
Yeah, March, bro. We're fucking July,
bro. And I hate this type of NXT melodramatic storytelling where it's just like, oh my god, what have I become? I'm a monster. No, I can't do this. It's like, bro, please. I'm begging you, stop doing this, bro. Like, it's literally July. It's July. It's about we're halfway through July. It's about to be August soon. We don't need to see this shit no more, bro.
Exactly. And especially when you do the whole his shoulders fucked up spot, you could have just said, "Oh, we can't lift him up because of his shoulder." But no, you had to turn it into NXT.
Okay, it was Dynasty. He wrestled Takeshita at Revolution. So, Takeshita at Revolution. Then it was Danielson at Dynasty. But like,
still,
and then like, I'm not like the strictest guy ever when it comes out of kicking out of big moves. Like, bro, you wanna Styles clash a nigga off the top of a steel cage, 30-foot drop, and he kicks out. Fine by me, bro. It's not your finish. I don't care. But like stuff like this should accumulate damage. Like he hit a million finishes, and then he hit his actual finisher in the hidden blade, and MJF kicked out at 2, and I ain't like that, bro. I feel like you could have just grabbed the rope. You could have just put your leg on the rope. Like was it the Stormbreaker or the tie or was it the Stormbreaker or is it the hidden blade that Kenny had to put his foot on the rope at Forbidden Door 2?
I'm pretty sure it's a Stormbreaker.
I think it was the Stormbreaker.
Yeah, so it's just like Kenny knows the importance of like, all right, like this is not gonna be the finish, but I'm still gonna protect this. I'm still gonna protect this finisher.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna grab the rope and put my leg on the rope. Like, and they were right there too. They could have done it, but he kicked out.
Collins done it with the One-Winged Angel. So did Moxley. They both put their feet on the rope.
And I like I said again, bro, I'm not the kick out police. Like I love when people are hitting like big moves on each other paws, like other finishers and stuff. Like it's cool, it's great type of wrestling I like. But it's just like I don't like. But when Ospreay hit his actual finisher like an hour into the match, I'm just like, all right, bro. Like I'm not high on anybody kicking out of the hidden blade in the first place. It's such a brutal looking move. I feel like it should be protected.
Yeah, you gotta protect yourself a little more.
That's another issue I had with it. And like, I don't want people to think that I like hated this match or anything. I didn't. I actually, like I said, there was a really good match in here. I just think that it went an hour and there was a lot of issues that happened during the hour, but there was also a lot of things that I loved that happened during the hour as well. like if you ask me to put a star rating on this, I literally have no clue what I would go right now.
I've been thinking about it, and I have no idea I'm going to end up rating it. I might have to watch it again, which is fucking 3 hours worth of one match, but I'm conflicted.
I'm like 4.25, 4.5. Like I like the match a lot.
I'm not that high right now,
bro. I was like at 4.5 around like 30 minutes in, like 40 minutes in. Then I was just like,
you're doing too much.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said, "Hey, yo, check AJ's last 2 tweets." Let me see.
Talk about Ospreay doing the Styles Clash.
I honestly
crying.
Don't know that this match went above a 4 for me.
Okay. AJ said, "Why do you guys think it bothers me that someone else is doing my move? We all do it. It's wrestling. I think if nothing else, it shows appreciation." And then some Mark replied to him and said, "I would think the problem would be if it was used just as another move in a match and not the finish." AJ said, "Sweet chin music." Look, like I know these like these stupid drone accounts, like they just don't have any friends, so they don't understand the concept. But AJ and Ospreay are friends, and they have a mentor-mentee relationship. So you're just gonna have to cry. Ospreay has been very open about AJ Styles being his GOAT. He's showing appreciation to AJ. He's not trying to steal his swag or anything like that.
Yeah.
He just really loves AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is the reason why Ospreay decided to become a professional wrestler. So I know WWE versus AEW is like the most important thing in the world to you guys, but if somebody was like praising my GOAT in WWE and trying to be Kenny, like as long as you didn't look like a clown doing it, I'd be like, good for you, bro. Good for fucking you.
In the wrong paying homage to people. Besides, why is it a big deal now? Ospreay been doing the Styles Clash.
I was gonna say,
he's literally been doing it forever, bro. These people don't watch wrestling. That's the issue. That's the thing. And then people were like, oh well, he's not protecting it. He lets people kick out of it all the time. AJ has not protected the Styles Clash since New Japan, bro. Everybody kicks out of the Styles Clash. He wins with the phenomenal forearm, bro. Like, you don't care. It's not protected. That's like crying that somebody kicked out of a Crossroads. Who hasn't kicked out of a Crossroads, bro? Cody would let somebody's grandmother kick out of a single Crossroads in the middle of the ring, bro. It's not a protected finish. Like the attitude adjustment. It's not protected, bro. Everybody kicks out of it, bro. Like, it's all right.
Besides, with Cody, nigga, you have to do the Crossroads 3 times in every big match he does.
Bro, remember when he hit it? Remember when he hit the Crossroads 4 times on QT Marshall?
Bro,
to win that Texas Bull Rope match, bro, or not the Four Corners match on QT Marshall, bro. He hit the Crossroads 4 times. Like, that's fucking insane.
That's disgusting. But
Dragon Master Adam said Maru lost to the Styles Clash last week. And yeah, he did because AJ was back in Japan for the first time in almost 10 years. And that was the last time it was strong. To these Japanese fans that came to watch AJ wrestle, the Styles Clash is very strong. It's not strong in WWE. It's not protected in WWE. Everybody kicks out of it in WWE.
Exactly.
AJ almost killed somebody.
Apply a little bit of context to situations like that, brother. Like,
yeah, they seen AJ almost murder Yoshitatsu with it over there. So it's like, it's the move of death over there.
I think the fact that they were hitting these big finishes is like, I guess transition moves is the way that you would say it for this match. They were paying homage to a lot of people, like key people in their, like, both of their wrestling journeys. And I think that was something that they actually should have focused more in this match, because it was one of my favorite parts of it, because I was just like, oh shit, we're adding meaningful layers. Both of you guys have got like these big idols in the business that you look up to and idolize and all this sort of shit. Let's talk about that a little bit more, because I think that was actually one of the cooler aspects of the match.
That's how I feel about this in a nutshell, because it's like there's something really great in here somewhere. You just have to keep a real focus, because this match, again, there were so many different type of matches that they were trying to do all at once, and it just threw stuff at the wall. Like, I respect the ambition, truly, I do.
Yes,
but
I commend them for the work they did, but
just written in a little bit.
Yeah, it takes balls to go out there and say, look, it's an anniversary show. The entire first hour is ours, and we're gonna try to deliver something that's gonna go down in history. And I did see a lot of accounts saying, yo, this is the greatest Dynamite match of all time. I don't think it's in the top 50 greatest Dynamite matches of all time,
it's
bro.
not even the greatest 60-minute match in Dynamite history.
Yeah, like it's not even the top 3 greatest 60-minute matches in Dynamite history, bro. Like if you asked me, like I say Darby Allin alone's got like 10 better Dynamite matches than that one. Off the top of my head, I'm saying Darby's got 10 better.
Darby and Joe.
Then we're going to Kenny, then we're going to Hangman. Then we just go down the list. And then you go to like what else Ospreay's done on Dynamite, bro. Like I feel like Ospreay has had better Dynamite matches than that before he even signed to AEW. You know what I mean? So yeah, but like I said, I'm not here to shit on the match. If you really enjoyed it, I understand why you really enjoyed it. I just personally didn't enjoy it to the extreme extent, but I also don't think it's bad or anything. I don't think it's like the worst match ever or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely. I think it was a good prelude for what they're going to do at All In, because I think the All In match is going to be absolutely fucking insane, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think if they keep it a tight 28 minutes, even that's a bit long for what I think they should do, but I think it's going to be great.
Like it felt very much like an essay where you try and get the word count in, where it's like you got B to B minus, maybe even B plus work, depending on who you ask. If you just condense it and just be concise, it's an A.
Yeah. You know, the issue with wrestling is like it's turned into like how people consume like hip hop music now, and everything, like every big release, and like you equate it to every big match. It's either a classic or it's trash. A big album drops at midnight on Thursday or Friday morning. 7 minutes in, people are like, "Oh my god, this is a classic!" Or, "Oh my god, it's trash." Brother, it's a 20-track album, bro. You're 7 minutes in. You listen to 2 songs, like,
right?
And it's just like, I don't think you just immediately. Did my headphones just fucking turn off? 1 second.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like the way that a lot of people watch wrestling these days, they go in with like a checklist. And if like certain things aren't hit on this checklist, they're just like, well, this match fucking sucked. And that's not how you should approach watching wrestling.
Back. Yeah.
Welcome back. Continue your point.
I don't know. I was just saying, like, I don't know. People are too hyperbolic when they give their opinions. Sometimes things are just pretty good, or pretty bad, or just fine. Not everything's the best thing ever or the worst thing ever.
Yeah, multiple things can be true all at once. It could both be a good match to you, and also a match where you personally don't get too much. Yeah, exactly. It's what it is.
It is what it is. We do only have one super chat right now, but because it relates to this match, do you want to pull it up real quick, Aaron?
Yeah. Chi-Town Spurs $5 super chat. I found the match to be very enjoyable and yet probably the worst 60-minute AEW TV match. I do think the polarization of it both ways was ridiculous. I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I can
keep the super chats coming, y'all. We appreciate it. Please like the video.
Yes.
I always forget to plug that nowadays. Please like the video, subscribe. Keep the super chats coming.
Absolutely. We're gonna get into some non-wrestling stuff on this card right now. I can't remember who was in this backstage promo first. I think it was Mark Briscoe, and then in came the Acclaimed, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And they basically said that they wanted in on Blood and Guts, and Mark Briscoe was just like, "You've had my back the last couple of weeks, but it's not just my decision to make." And in came AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland, had that shit on as always. Yes, and he basically said the best people to wrestle with are the people you've gone against yourself. And he accepted Acclaimed into Team AEW for Blood and Guts. Listen, I don't care about this match. And it's literally next week. I mean, they did some cool stuff towards the end of the show that we'll touch on, but I've never been so apathetic towards a Blood and Guts match. Like,
really
Marcus, how are you feeling?
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. And it'd probably be the best Blood and Guts match they've done in terms of the work. Problem is, the story just kind of fell off a cliff the minute the Acclaim got here, plus what are really the stakes? So it just kind of is what it is. It feels like an obligation. It feels like an obligation.
Yes.
And a match like this shouldn't feel like that. Like, honestly, just table this damn match and do it when it's absolutely necessary, and don't do it.
Yeah, I think like Blood and Guts yearly it was a great idea when AEW was a 4 pay-per-view a year territory.
Yeah.
But we're at 12 now, including the ROH pay-per-views. And I don't think
Mhm.
you just need to. I don't think you need to just do it every year just to check it off, just to check it off a list, like just like the 5-on-5 Survivor Series match in WWE, or
Yeah.
now they're doing War Games every year and stuff. I think when you force yourself, and Hell in the Cell, bro, when they made Hell in the Cell a yearly pay-per-view,
Oh,
it was
bro.
just like,
Oh,
bro, like
God.
Hell in the Cell used to be such a cool concept because feuds used to get so insane that like this could only possibly be solved in a Hell in the Cell match. I
Yeah.
don't believe this builds to blood and guts at all. Like I don't believe that you guys want to get into a cage and kill each other at all. I don't believe you, bro. Like imagine if AEW had a pay-per-view every year that was just called Texas Deathmatch. And there was like
Oh,
three
God.
Texas death matches on the card, and it's just like, all right, we gotta build these feuds to make it seem like these guys want to kill each other. No, bro, no. And it's just
Absolutely
like,
not.
and the Acclaimed being involved, just like, bro, like I love the Young Bucks to death, bro. I think they are
Me too.
a top 3 wrestling act of all time. I think they are the greatest tag team of all time. Feuding with the Acclaimed, like this has like been some of the worst long-term shit they've ever done. It's not like they're just
Yeah.
like putting like stinky content on TV, because they're not, but it's just like, who could possibly give a fuck about any of this?
It's like,
Who could
bro,
care about this?
it's like
I
it's
don't care.
2024.
Love the Bucks, bro. Like, who could care about this feud that's been going on for so long? Charlie,
Hello.
top 3 memorable moments. Young Bucks and the Acclaim feud. Go ahead.
No, because I don't have any.
Exactly,
nothing
bro.
to add.
It's been going on forever, bro. It's been going on forever.
I couldn't even tell
so
you when it
bad.
started.
This is so bad, bro. Like, get away from this. Please just let the Lucha Bros pick up some wins so we could get the Bucks
Yes.
versus Lucha Bros for tag team titles for maybe one of the last times ever. Who knows? But
Mhm.
this sucks, bro. Like,
Yeah, like,
niggas was talking about when you think of team, when you think of AEW, you think of the Acclaim. No, I don't. No, I don't, bro.
yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
you-
but, like,
I think
coulda
of
easily
Darby
put some-
Allin. I think of Daniel Garcia. I think of
the
I don't know
Lucha
other
Bros.
people.
Bro,
Lucha
like
Bros,
you easily could have had DG in this match, but I get it.
Yes.
He's doing the right off angle. Plus, he's got a contract situation that's up in the air. All right, he's not available. Why not put the Lucha Bros in it? And as much as it pains me to say this, at least FTR are like stars that like people AEW fans
Yeah.
want to see, and are
Yeah.
better wrestlers than fucking Max Caster. Like, why?
And
Come on,
a
bro. What
much
is
more serious
Bro,
act. Too.
FTR
What are
came
we-
back, and they were taken out because of this fucking, like, because of the Bucks, because of the ladder match. That is shoot what injured Dags. Why do they
Yeah.
not care about it anymore? Why have they come back and don't give a fuck?
I don't get it, bro. I don't
It's
get
so
it.
dumb.
Like,
I
unless
truly
it's
don't.
like just they're like, yo, we can't get you on Wembley. Sorry about that. But like, who cares, bro? Like, who fucking cares, bro? Max Caster's acting ass on Twitter every day. The crowds don't care about him anymore. They had a pay-per-view in Long Island. They had the worst pop of everybody in the 6-man match. They had one of the worst pops in the entire night. You're in your hometown, bro. Like we're done with the Acclaims, bro. It's time to pivot.
2024.
You gotta go away from this.
Swerve
Yeah.
Strickland deserves a raise for getting people
I
to think
will
that they
take
think
back all my bitching about them being in Blood and Guts if this is the catalyst for them splitting up. I will take it all back if this leads to them splitting up.
that shit's not happening.
I'm very aware, but I'm just putting it out there. Like,
Yeah,
Are
for sure, but
they still moving merch like that, bro? I'm gonna have to check.
sort of, kind of.
Hopefully
That's the only much I
not,
ever see in
bro.
the shows. But it is what it is.
people
Again.
just like the foam fingers, but even those you don't see at shows anymore, really.
But like I said, Swerve Strickland, you deserve the raise of a lifetime for getting people in 2022 to believe the Acclaimed were a good act.
Yeah.
Bro, that all out match in the Grand Slam match, like he made the Acclaimed, bro.
Miracle.
Because people obviously liked the Acclaimed a lot, but nobody was just like, oh, these are tag team champion caliber acts. Nobody was saying that until they wrestled Swerve in Our Glory and they made them look like tag team champion caliber act. And I'm not saying they had the worst title run ever, because it wasn't the worst ever, but the tag team titles used to be like a main attraction in AEW.
Yep.
Like it was a big deal to be tag team champions. Like people really cared about that division. Who had the belts? People were really invested, and that continued. Well, like, all right. So people have their issues with the Jurassic Express run, but let's talk about the matches. They were awesome.
That's refined.
And then the Bucks got the belts back for a month. People were pissed, but not. I mean, people were like pissed in kayfabe, not like like people. So like people were really into that for the month they had it, and also people knew that like it was supposed to be the Hardys, but Jeff got drunk and drove again, so they had to quick pivot. Who better to do than the goats of this tag shit? And then they put over Swerve in Our Glory. The belts still felt important. Swerve and Our Glory, two people in the company that was on the uptick. They were having great matches. They came out. They had the pyro, looked like stars. Were fucking hooping in the ring. It was awesome. Had a great match at All Out with the Acclaimed. Because that's just what they do, bro. And then people were just like, "Oh, put the belts on the Acclaimed, put the belts on the Acclaimed, put the belts on the Acclaimed." The Acclaimed trick y'all, bro. They trick y'all.
They really did.
Y'all. And then the tag division. That was the beginning of the end of the tag division, bro. When the Acclaimed won those belts, because it just stopped feeling important. Like it was just on like the guys that we like. Oh, these guys are pretty funny, and Bowens can wrestle, but you know he's the hot tag guy. We mostly see Max Caster in the ring, and he's just like a guy who just is there and does an elbow drop, and nobody cares.
Yeah. Then they dropped to the Guns, who weren't ready for it, instead of just dropping.
Yeah, then they dropped it to the Guns, and that was awful.
That's right.
Awful matches with FTR. Oh my god, bro! Rest in peace, the tag titles. Rest in peace, the tag titles.
Machine Gun.
They never recovered from the end of 2022, and it makes me really sad.
Ever.
And then the trios run. Don't even get me started on that shit. But anyway,
brother, I have so many opinions, and I'm not going to get into them because we have to talk. Well, we don't have to talk about the Learning Tree, but the Learning Tree was up next. Jericho had some things to say. No idea what they were. I went and made a cup of tea. Did him and Suzuki's music hit?
Yeah, I can't lie. And it wasn't even like on purpose. Like it wasn't even like, oh brother, Learning Tree on, TV off. It was just like Jericho's music hits. It was on the Learning Tree. I scrolled the timeline. I was like, yo, what these niggas talking about on Twitter, bro?
Same shit.
And then I was just looking at the Twitter until the first notes of Kaze and Ina Ray hit. And I was just like, oh, Suzuki's here. Oh shit. So then I started watching and
like
so I don't know what Jericho was talking about.
Neither do I.
For a little bit of context, on the fight feed, there was no breaks. Like because we get picture in picture, we don't we don't get a little cow on the screen. We just see the wrestling. There was not a single ad break until 2:15 in the morning. I was like, I want to go get a cup of tea. So the Learning Tree was when I went and did that, and then I came back and Suzuki was there. I was just like, you know what? If that's the match they're running next week, whatever. Even though is Suzuki cleared? He got dropped on his head like a week ago.
He's wrestled like 2 matches since. Like he collapsed in the ring.
Has he? I haven't seen
like 2 weeks ago, and then he's wrestled 2 matches since. So Meltzer said it was a concussion. Nobody else has said anything else about it. I don't know. I hope he's being careful, bro. You're not a young man anymore, Suzuki.
Indeed.
You're not a young man anymore. But it's a plunder match. I'm sure they'll be fucking safe. Like it's two vets.
I'm sure it will be alright. Interesting choice to put on the Blood and Guts show, though. Looks like they're not going to be running a women's match because where are they going to put it?
So what's booked for Blood and Guts? We got the Blood and Guts match and just the FTW match. Is anything else?
I think last year they only ran 2 matches, right?
I believe so, but the first Blood and Guts, they ran 3. They had a women's match. Okay. They had Cody versus who was it? QT. That was like recorded or something like that.
No, that was live actually. That was live.
Okay, so it was Cody versus QT. They had I think DMD wrestled on that
Julia
show.
Hart.
Oh, they have
DMD versus Julia Hart.
Yeah,
and then they had
and then Darby got thrown down some stairs by Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky.
I put Stat on that show, bro. I think Stat needs a big win.
Yeah, I agree.
A big show.
Yeah, have to do something.
I forget how long Blood and Guts actually runs. I'm in like hour-long mode right now. Like,
so
it's like 40 minutes ish.
Yeah, 40, 50.
Jeez, well. hopefully Jericho and Suzuki won't go that long, to be honest. Because as much as I like Suzuki, he is very much just I'm here for the pop of the music and a couple of chops, and then I'm like, yeah, take it home.
Because Okada
That's just who he is
in
in 2024. Like, and there's no shame in that. He's a legend.
Kind of is what it is, but hey, have a little fun out there, old man. Please don't bore us. Let's
Indeed.
get the blood guts. Fuck it. Let's just get past next week, honestly.
Honestly, you know what I am excited for? That I hope they do the battle royal that they run on the Rampage.
They're gonna keep doing that.
The whatever the fuck they call it, because I think that those can be very fun sometimes. I know they're not for everyone, but I enjoy them. And what did they do on last year? What was the?
They did. I think I'm pretty sure they did.
Oh, it was that Darby and how we got to Darby and Brody King, or was that the year before?
I believe it was the year before, but I know he definitely.
Oh my god, there is so much wrestling all the time. But yeah, I do hope they do those battle royals. But next segment, because I don't really want to linger on the learning tree. The EVPs were backstage, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, and Kazuta Okada. They had some things to say. They were hyping themselves up about like Team Elite going into Blood and Guts. And then Mercedes Moné made her entrance onto screen. She was thanking the Bucks for banning Britt and all that, just heels being heels together, doing their shtick. And then Okada whispered to Matthew, and Matthew asked Mercedes to do her CEO dance. And the Bucks were like just chanting CEO, CEO. And then when she walked away, it cut back to Okada, and he was very, very flustered. And I really enjoyed this segment. I thought it was a good little dose of comedy in a show that had a lot happen in a very short amount of time. But Ao, was you a fan of the EVPs and the CEO link up here?
I was. I think they do very good TV together. I wouldn't mind. I know people are like, y'all should just be like an affiliate and not actually part of the Elite. I wouldn't mind, bro. I wouldn't mind if she actually joined the Elite. I think it would be gas. Okada, they're calling one of my goats Okada. They're calling him Goonkada. He's got allegations to be in the chat. That is a married man and a father.
It is.
He's a family man. He would never. Sometimes the aura is just be aura, and it just overtakes you, bro. You don't know what to do. So I can't blame Okada. I don't know what I would do in such a situation. I might faint, type shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, it ain't the first time she had him flustered. Remember that show, the New Japan show Mercedes debuted on?
Battle in the Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, Battle in the Valley.
She had Kazu shaking his hips and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
But I really don't mind them being like full on like a group, because their interactions with each other are very funny, and they've actually been really, really cool. And they just look like they belong with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Mercedes, especially now as a heel, she just looks like the Mercedes that you know and love. She's confident. She's confident. She knows she's the best. And when you're with the Elite and with the Bucks and Okada, that shit just fits. I'm all for it if they actually want to go that route.
Absolutely. I think Mercedes has really settled into her character now, and linking up with the EVPs has just really exasperated that. And I don't know, it's good TV. It really is good TV.
Yeah, especially when they just like kicked Bray out the ring like a week before and said, Mercedes, get your celebration in, yada yada. That's what's cool.
Yeah, it's real good stuff. There was a very funny line in there somewhere, and it's really annoying about Brit, and it's really annoying me that I can't remember off the top of my head. But we did go straight into there might have been a break, can't remember. But after that was the Mercedes versus Nyla Rose open challenge match. Can you still call it an open challenge if you went out to the opponent is? But nonetheless, very fun match. I wish that this got more TV time, because Nyla is such an incredible personality, and her and Mercedes had great chemistry, not even just when it came to wrestling, just the way they were interacting with each other. And I would like to see a long-term feud at some point. I think that they could make incredible TV together, whether it be them across the ring from each other or linking up to work together at some point. I don't know. But very fun match. I wish that this got more time. Marcus, what were your thoughts and opinions?
I had a lot of fun with it. Like, I've always been a huge fan of Mercedes when she's wrestling bigger opponents. Like, some of her Nia work back in WWE was enjoyable to me. And this was no different. And Nyla's someone I've been a fan of for a while, and I always thought she should probably get more TV time. And the one thing I've always been a little bit frustrated with AEW never really tapping into, that was fucking hilarious.
She
Yeah.
is. She's incredibly funny.
Like, they can drop the Native B stuff at this point. Just let Nyla be Nyla, and just let her go out there, just show her personality, be the big horse that she is. And that guillotine knee she does, that shit looks brutal.
That shit looks deadly.
It seems like she broke her fucking back. But no, I had fun with it. I loved her trying to do the lockjaw. She had the whole glove and everything, the whole CEO thing on it.
Yeah.
And Nyla did something that I've always thought wrestlers should do. She is now the smartest woman in the business. Bite her fucking hand.
Yeah.
Just bite her hand.
I think the whole point of the lockjaw is that like it puts such pressure that you can't close your jaw.
Yeah, like
but it is a good
like
bit.
Putting pressure on a nerve or something.
Yeah,
like
like
the nerve, yada yada. But then she
her looking at it, her trying to use it, and Nyla just biting her hand. She's not a dentist. She didn't know what she was doing. It's a very funny bit that I think that it was a good little play into. But she went straight into the bank statement. So
yeah,
is that what we're calling it these days?
Excalibur called it statement maker.
Statement maker. Ah, sure. Same difference.
Same thing.
But what were your thoughts?
I had a lot of fun with this. I'm a big fan of Nyla Rose. This is not the Nyla Rose of 2019, 2020, who was like easy to dunk on, who was just like generic roaring Haas, who wasn't the best worker. She's improved a lot over the years as a TV presence and as a in-ring worker. I agree, bro. Like it's difficult once you catch a label in wrestling. It's like it's really hard to like shake it off. But I think Nyla has like done the work to be like she's an actively good wrestler. Like she's a good house worker. So I was excited when this match was announced, and they delivered. It didn't go very long, unfortunately. It's what happens when one match goes an hour. But I think it definitely showed that Nyla is like should be a positive contributor to the women's division. It's like there's a lot of time to fill on Collision that we're just kind of feeling with like not great stuff right now. And even the collisions that I like there's even the collisions that I really like that I think are really good like episodes, wrestling TV episodes. I feel like it's just like, bro, like there's people on the roster that could help this show, and they're just like not for whatever reason. I think Nyla is one of them. So I'm happy she was able to go out there and have a good showing against Mercedes. So I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I think that Nyla is one of those talents that is super underutilized in AEW, considering just how much TV time they have. And like every time she does anything in like the past 18 months, our reactions have been, "This is great. We should see Nyla on TV more," and it never happens.
Yeah, I love the Athena feud she had in ROH with.
Yeah, like even the stuff that she did with Jade Cargill, with the TBS title, it did get super convoluted and kind of dumb. But Nyla was great in her role in that. Like she was actively playing a really good role, and the match ended up being pretty good as well. So the match.
No more to be
Nyla Rose. Put her on TV more. I would love to see her.
I got a question.
Go for it.
I got a question for y'all. There's a lot of not a lot, but I do see as a talking point. People don't love the fact that Mercedes is playing chicken shit heel against DMD. How do y'all feel about that?
I'm kind of conflicted because the segments they do it in, the crowd loves it and they're eating it up and they treat the interactions like a big deal. I'm also just not in love with Mercedes being the one that's running away from Britt Baker. She should not be afraid of Britt Baker, to me. But it's working right now. But still, I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I do get that, but also from a completely like just the way that AEW want Britt Baker to be perceived. She's like their biggest women's star before Mercedes came in. She was the like pinpoint of the division. So if Mercedes is going to be intimidated by anyone, it's going to be someone that could, from an AEW point of view, match her star power. Is that how I feel about it? Not necessarily, but I do get what they're going for.
Yeah, and I would prefer them to have more promo segments to do it because it's a very smooth. Well, go ahead, Leo.
I don't know. I see why they don't like it. I feel like it's been good TV. But I think it's like the safest option to do. Like I feel like there's a version of this feud where you build it like it's just like the biggest thing in the world. Like how they built Ospreay Swerve. Like they built that like a heavyweight prize fight. Like they built that like Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. And it paid off during the match because people in the building bought into it like it was the biggest thing ever. Fans at home bought into it like it was the biggest thing ever. And it showed. So I hope it's not just, oh, I'll get you next week. Like every like week that we do this shit. But I understand why they're like they don't want they're trying to make Britt look big and bad because one, she was the biggest star, and two, she's obviously losing at All In. So they're just like, all right, let her have her heat, let her get her shine during this feud, let her get her moments, let her make Mercedes look like a punk because she's got to lay down in Wembley. So I think that's what they're thinking. So because like Ospreay was so on fire that like it didn't really matter if he lost or not against Swerve. He was gonna be just fine. But like Britt hasn't wrestled in a year and stuff. So I think she even said herself that she wasn't sure like if how the crowd was gonna react to her return. She was surprised about the pop that she got. So but I think when you see that you readjust and you pivot and you switch the story you're trying to tell. And like sell this like it's a super fight.
I think they've still got time to do it.
Yeah, there's a universe where Britt grabs a mic.
5 weeks away?
Yeah. About 5 weeks. And you got collisions and stuff. But like there's a universe where Britt next week just unprompted comes out to me and grabs a mic and just says, "You're not gonna fucking replace me," type shit, just because a fiery promo, crowd gets involved. Just show some babyface fire and that will work a little bit better and that will probably be a better direction for this. Because like the thing with MJF and Ospreay and then Britt Mercedes, it's basically 2 stars of AEW's past and now AEW's future coming together, locking horns, and they're trying to navigate their new spots on the card now that they came back from injuries. If there's good feuds in both of those situations somewhere, they just gotta keep focused. Charlie, you alive?
I was being attacked by a moth. It's still here. It's fine. It's fine. I had to close my window. It's fine. Yes, I did agree. I did agree with all the points that were made. Do we want to see some super chats? Because I might have to turn my camera off for it again.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and read them. Yeah, we'll go ahead and read them.
Yes, the super chats. No to super chats. We can keep going with the wrestling if you want.
Sorry.
What's going on?
I'm a little inebriated. I'm back though. I'm locked in. Adam Legend, $5 super chat. International title match was too long. When they repeated her spot late in the match from the beginning, it just fizzled out late. I do think that they kind of ran out of ideas at a point, and they were just like, I think they worked backwards. They were like, instead of being like, let's do this, and it's gonna end up being an hour, which is what I like. I don't think for a second Kenny and Okada was like, we're going an hour, we're going 70 minutes, we're going 90 minutes. I don't think for a second that was ever their thoughts. I think that they laid out a match and it ended up being that long.
Yeah.
On the inverse, MJF and Ospreay, and let's be real, like this was MJF's idea, bro. MJF was like, Billy, we're going an hour. And then Billy was like, all right, sure, let's go an hour. And then they were like, all right, so how are we gonna fill this hour? And that's like, I think they kind of worked backwards in that situation.
Yeah, it's they overthought themselves. They stretched themselves a little too thin.
Absolutely.
Honest assault into $2 super chat. Blood and guts, more like blood and not excited. I'm sorry. I'm not excited either, bro. And some of my favorite wrestlers are in this match. It is what it is, bro. It's AEW's job to get us excited for these things. And I don't think they've completely loved it, but like it's very I'm like lukewarm going into this thing.
Yeah.
And I think people should be fired up. Like, say what you want about last year's Blood and Guts match, but the feeling going into it was crazy. Kota Ibushi's
Like,
coming. It's the Golden
yeah, we
Elite
were on watch along
versus the
when it was
Blackpool Combat
revealed.
Club.
Yeah.
And we popped huge. We were going crazy.
We did.
And obviously, like those feelings are fleeting and stuff, and you can't get that type of reaction every year. But it's just like let's shoot. Let's try to get one. Let's go for it at least. You know what I mean? Shot-Town Spurs $5 super chat. It's wild that the Acclaimed killed both the tag and trios division and are still walking amongst us free in the open.
Hey, man.
Yo, Shot-Town Spurs like he's saying we should hunt them down in the night with fucking dogs and shit. I don't disagree. Maybe I don't disagree. The homie Caden Lee of the Performance Center, WrestlePurists' own $2 super chat. Max bad. Hey, many people are saying it. Many people are saying it. Many people are saying otherwise, but many people are also saying Max bad.
You were very much entitled to your opinions, but Max, not great, Bob.
Yeah. Decisive man, that wrestler, isn't he?
He's trying to run from the hunting black men in the night with dogs allegations, but we clocked your T, as the kids say, bro. We know what you got going on, brother.
We know what you are.
Indeed. Back to Dynamite though. Oh my god. There was a Mariah May video package. Not going to really touch on it because we'll just discuss all in her promo in just a second. But there was a Jack Perry segment that confused the fuck out of me, if I'm being honest. He basically addressed Darby's backstage segment from last week, and then he beat the shit out of Braden Cutler. And I think he said something like, "This is what a sacrifice looks like." I don't get it. I was very confused.
It was a response because when he beat up Brandon Cutler last week, people was like, why do people care about Brandon Cutler? And Jack Perry's like, you're right, I don't give a fuck about Brandon Cutler. I'll beat his ass too. That's what it was.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So it's just like, because Darby beat the associate stooge or executive stooge of the Elite.
Indeed.
And he beat his ass last week, and that was supposed to get Jack Perry's attention, because I think it's very clear that Jack Perry versus Darby's the direction for All In, which is something that I'm very excited about. I think that'll be a great match. I think that'll be a fantastic match. They've had good matches before in the past. So Jack was like, bro, like you want my attention? You know, you didn't have to beat Brandon Cutler's ass to get my attention. I don't give a fuck about Brandon Cutler. I'll beat his ass too. And he just beat his ass for no reason. Poor Cutler, bro.
It's getting used to Cutler. Honestly,
but yeah, he's used to it at this point.
Yeah, I was just a little bit baffled about it, but it wasn't a bad segment or anything. Didn't really add a lot. I mean, no, it didn't really add a lot for me personally. But Jack Perry's on TV.
Inoffensive.
Double thumbs up.
Now, can you defend that belt again?
Please. You know what? Can the Elite defend their belts? Like, against anyone? I'll take anything at this point.
Like, bro, there's 3 mid-card belts in AEW. And I just feel like there shouldn't be a single week that goes by that at least one of them is not defended on TV. Like last week's Collision card, and it's not like the show is terrible, but last week's Collision card that was main evented by Orange Cassidy and fucking Kyle O'Reilly versus the Kingdom. That's a crazy main event for a show that you're trying to sell to us is as important as Dynamite. Like, imagine if it was the same exact card, you cut some of it up, and Jack Perry's wrestling. I don't know. I'd have to look at the roster, but somebody interesting, bro. Or even Jack Perry, Leo Rush. Imagine that if that was the main event of Collision. That's something people will be really excited about. It will be a great match. Like it's not that hard, bro. Like people just need to wrestle more. That moth is like terrorizing Charlie's life. So
he spun the block on him.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I think all like the Okada needs to wrestle more. The Bucks need to wrestle more. Jack Perry needs to wrestle more. But like Jack Perry is 25 years old. He's wrestling every week, bro. Like the Bucks are beat down. They just are, bro. They're beat down. It's not 2018 anymore for them anymore. It's not 2015 anymore. But like, what's Jack Perry's excuse?
No, just wrestle. Yeah, this is
just wrestle, bro. Just wrestle.
Yeah, it's like this is what happens when you don't have a real mid card and you just have a bunch of guys just sitting.
Nah, Leo. Christopher Lachey said Leo Rush. He's not injured, bro. He's been taking indie dates.
Like he wrestled last week.
He wrestled last week. He was injured. He did like it wasn't a serious injury though. It was just like I'm so beat up from this ladder match that I can't make my indie date in 5 days, which is very understandable. They were killing each other in that ladder match, but yeah, it was nothing. He's wrestled a couple matches since then. He's fine.
Yeah, he good.
Charlie, have you survived the attack of Mothra?
I think we're good. I think it has been caught and compromised. We'll see.
Right.
It fell behind my chest of drawers, so it's
hopefully it dies back there.
Anyways, but yes, I was listening. I agree with everything that was just like talking about title defenses and that. I don't even remember like the last time that Okada actually defended the Continental belt.
Yeah, I think it was Dynasty. No. When was it? Let me check. That's actually a good question. Okada cage match. Somebody in the chat will probably figure it out before I do.
Against Dax before Double or Nothing.
Really? Oh, yeah.
God damn. That's a long time ago.
Bro, that was May.
Well then.
We're talking 2 months. Listen.
Just holding the belt to hold the belt at this point.
That the Continental belt had its issues upon creation anyways. But it's just a prop. It's just a prop now.
Yeah, so it was the last time was against Dax Harwood before Anarchy in the Arena, and then he had at least he did have the Eliminator against Ultimo Guerrero in
he did.
June.
I didn't watch it, but you did.
You didn't miss much.
Honestly, bro, I don't really split hairs when it comes like between like eliminated matches and actual title defenses. They're kind of the same thing to me.
That's not why I didn't watch it. I just didn't get around.
Yeah, no. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it either. I just wasn't home. I went out, so I didn't watch that collision at all. Plus, people were saying like it wasn't a great match anyway.
It was.
So I didn't feel the need to fire it up on my Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. But I think that kind of speaks to volumes about the fact that people did not remember that match had happened, and they all said that like. Because of like, I know I said about the title last being defended, but I would have counted eliminated matches anyways. But yeah, Young Bucks, please have a match. I guess the Acclaim match at what the fuck is the show called? Battle of the Belts.
That should happen at Wembley. I've already accepted.
No. I bullied one match off of Wembley last year. I will do it again. Who is it for?
Who is Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed at Wembley for?
Nobody. If it's 2022, sure. Have at it. But it's not.
Like last week, Malachi, like I know we'll get our House of Black jokes off, but Malachi and Brody cut a promo about like they'll be starting their Wembley direction or like the week before or whatever. Give me Kings of the Black Throne against the Bucks because I'll enjoy that. I don't give a fuck about anyone else in the stadium. I will like that match.
There's the fucking Acclaim. I'll take it. I'll take Brody King wrestling. Shit.
It's exactly. Brody King getting a big spot in Wembley. I'll fucking take it, man. Like.
Anywho's.
But yeah, dear God, Motor City Machine Guns. Where you at, bro? Let's talk about Mariah May because she was up next. She got me again. I don't know whether it's just her and Tony. I have face blindness when it comes to these white women. I was bamboozled once again. They're my people. I can't tell them apart. No, it took me saying out loud. I was in a Discord call when I was watching Dynamite, and I said out loud, I don't think Tony should have been on Dynamite this week. And WrestlePurists' own Jamie Ross turned around and said, "That's not Tony, that's Mariah." And I was like, "Oh fuck, yes it is." But yeah, this is another segment on this show I think has raised a lot of opinions, a lot of different opinions. Me personally, I very much liked Mariah's delivery. I enjoyed the content of the promo. I think that her being very blasé about it was the right approach to take because this has been her plan since the beginning. She essentially said that herself during the promo. I think that the crowd fucking sucked, and the what chants need to die and never be done again. Stop doing it.
We used to take what happened to this country. We used to take pride in refusing to do what chants as AEW fans, because we're not like those drones up north. That used to be us, bro. And then it at some point, the what disease just infected this fan base at like dailies one week, and then people just decided it's like, yo, we actually do the what chants now. And I have sources that are at dailies places, bro, and they hang it on the rafters, and they told me the first person to ever say what at an AEW show was one good job Marcus of WrestlePurists. Marcus, what do you have to say about these allegations?
Whoa. What the fuck? No, that's
They said Andrade El Idolo debuted at like 12:30 at night at that one Dynamite, and you started whatting him.
I did nothing of the sort, because I did not do what chants.
Marcus, are you a racist?
No, what kind of shit is this? Why are these accusations being thrown my way? I have been alone.
All right, and even worse than racism, Marcus, do you enjoy the WWE?
I have not watched a WWE product in like 5 years, brother. What are we doing?
I'm not saying it's true now. I could only tell you what my sources are telling me, bro. So
well, your sources are very inaccurate.
Well, we both know that's not true, brother. So
come on, bro.
Speaking of which, Charlie, we gotta tell you something after the show. Something hilarious, but yeah, bro. We know about you, Marcus. We know about you.
I don't believe you do. I don't believe so.
What was I about to say? Oh, okay. So, all right. So, what chants are 100% the fans' fault? But I feel like, oh no, the mouth's back on Charlie's ass.
No, it's not. I feel my dog's barking in its sleep. It's fine. It's fine. The mouth's not back.
Right. I feel like Mariah May and the crowd was like kind of set up to fail in this instance, because you guys have to remember, the people in the arena don't hear commentary, and like she looks so much like Tony. There was never the realization that's like, yo, that's not Tony Storm, that's Mariah May. And like, so when she started talking, and people were like, wait, that's not a Australian accent, like that's not Tony, that's Mariah. There was a couple boos, but like not everyone got it. And then like people just started, instead of booing, people started heckling. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like she should, like, maybe she should have had like a wig and like thrown it off or something like that. I don't know, because like there was the flip never, the switch was never like flipped where people were like, that's not Tony who we would like to see. That's Mariah May who just did that evil thing last week. So the crowd ain't know whether to cheer or boo. They were just sitting there confused and just like looking at her. They're like, I think that's Tony Storm, but something's kind of off. And I don't know. It's kind of because I'm trying to imagine myself in that situation. It's just like, when would I have noticed? And like when she started talking, it's like, all right, well, she just walked down to the ring for like the 3 minutes of the timeless entrance. Am I still like invested enough to boo right now? It's a weird situation, I think.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where like what they were trying to go for, I understood, because that was a scene in the movie that this is based off of where Eve just straight up cosplayed the damn person she was going after. But like, no one knew until she probably grabbed the mic and started talking, because
it's one of those things. Go ahead, Marcus.
Not to generalize, Americans can't tell the difference between Australian and English accents like 95% of the time.
That's a real thing. People do struggle with that, and like I'm fine with it because I have like a lot of English like family, but like the average person who's never been there or is like never like heard like a Brit speak at an Aussie, they're just like, they just hear an Aussie accent or they hear an English accent, and they're just like, oh, this is the same thing, actually. It's
the way that Tony's been speaking as the timeless character, it's like old English.
Yeah, and Tony's never sounded Australian to me ever for some reason.
It's one of those things. Yeah, her Australian accent's kind of like gone. But what was I gonna say? Oh, it's one of those things that was like, it worked a lot better for the TV audience than
Yeah.
it did the live audience, which I think is how you're supposed to make wrestling TV. Like I say all the time with MJF, is like, yeah, you're popping the live crowd, but like some of the things that you're doing to pop the live crowd, like telling them what to chant at your opponent, like it's terrible TV, bro. Like I'm sure people in the stands is having fun. I'm sure they're having the time of their life in the crowd, but like it's not good TV. But like it's the inverse of this, where it was good TV, but it was bad for the crowd. And with the crowd confused, it actively makes the TV worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
actual like content. What she says, like, you should have knew this shit was coming all along. I'm gonna embarrass you in front of as many people as humanly possible. It's like I like that. I like the actual content.
Yeah.
The delivery was a little slower than I probably would have liked, but like that's just kind of the character that they're playing here, and this is the story that's been told. That's just kind of how it's gonna go. Which in a backstage segment that probably works slightly better, but you have to have her in front of the live crowd.
Yeah, you have to put her in front of the crowd.
I think they
after
should have
last
opened
week,
with
but
this. I think they should have
Probably.
made the video package
Honestly, yeah.
that they had, that they played before the Jack Perry segment to open Dynamite and then hit the Timeless Tony music. I think people would have caught on a lot quicker to the fact, oh shit, this is actually Mariah.
Yeah,
Because that's someone that has witnessed her do the cosplay live. Like when she came out at Revolution, like they originally hit that old Tony music. I was just like, oh fuck, it's Tony. And it isn't until afterwards, like when the Timeless Tony music hit, I was like, wait, how is there two of them? And then I realized it was Mariah. Like, it is a real thing, like being in the arena. You don't clock on that quickly.
Plus, the story they were telling with that feud was like, you don't want the old Tony Storm, and then you got the Tony Storm music. I was like, oh shit, we're getting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look so similar live, so I get people not getting it early.
Yeah.
But I get like Tony was not there, like she was not there. That needed to happen.
Yes,
And
I do. I did like that.
Was good. I liked it. Follow up next week. I want to see it continue to evolve over the next coming weeks. But so far, so good. And again, this is the part of the feud that's going to ask a lot of Mariah.
Yes.
And I mean a lot. But I think she's up for it. I like the start here. We're fine. This is the thing I'm most excited about for Wembley, by far.
Yeah. I do think that this promo, like her closing line of All Elite Wrestling is now all about Mariah. I think they've got a lot. I hope they don't play on that too much, and she says it like all the time, because it shouldn't become a catchphrase. Like it's a nice little way to like tie off like this segment of the story. But in the next coming weeks, I do think that they should still do that like sit down backstage interview that we had like thrown around as an idea for what they could do this week, because I think that it would hit quite hard, her talking about it, like having, especially, we got to talk about Tony Schiavone. I didn't give a fuck that he called her a bitch. The commentators are playing a character on TV. They are actively part of the TV show. Tony Schiavone is that guy that like doesn't agree with wrestlers doing dastardly things. Mariah May did one of the most dastardly things we've ever seen in AEW. Of course he's going to react like that.
How many times are people just going to get worked by Tony Schiavone? Like Schiavone's whole thing, Schiavone's appeal is that like he's just the average guy who just happens to get to talk about graps, gets to sit there with a headphone on and speak graps. Like he's supposed to be us, like a representation of us on TV. And to Schiavone, kayfabe is real. So like, no, bro, he wasn't disgusted by the Bucks playing the Wembley footage and blaming that on FTR. You marks. No, bro, he doesn't think Mariah May is a bitch. He just saw a woman brutally attack her best friend or mentor, whatever you want to call their relation, lover, whatever you want to call their relationship, with weapons last week, gushing blood all over herself. She was rubbing it on her face. What is she supposed to say about her? What would you say about her if you saw that in real life?
Like speak, bitch. Exactly.
And I know some of it's just like, oh, AEW bad, so let me pretend to be offended by something. But like, some of it wasn't. Like some people were like actually offended, and it's just like do people want heels anymore? Because like if people don't want heels, and like if people actually want heels, like people have to react to the heelish things that they do. These things need to be sold. Not everything could be John Cena. Oh, people somebody just cut the best promo of their life heading into the best or the biggest match of their life, and Cena hits them with the fine speech. Like, that's not how you sell a fight, bro. Like, people need to be like, these things need to have an effect on people in universe to get the fans to care.
Yeah, fuck all that wink and all the joke shit, bro.
I can't lie though. It did catch me off guard, but I was just like, yo, that's
I was like, wait, did you say that? I was like,
it did catch me off guard, but I don't care. I know some people will be like, well, men shouldn't call women bitches, and I'm just like, in a real life context, yes, I agree with that. I don't think men should call women bitches. He's playing a character on TV. Like, there is a distinction there. Tony Schiavone, the person, does not walk around calling women bitches. Probably. I don't know the guy.
It's a real issue with wrestling fans that they forget that these people are playing television characters.
Yes.
Like, if fucking, like, the boys just had their finale last night. If Billy Butcher called Victoria Newman a bitch before he did what he did to her, let me not have fucking spoilers. Are people running around talking about the actor needs to be canceled, or he took it too far, or why would he do that? No, bro, he's playing a character. It's not a real person. Like, Tony Schiavone is a real person, but that's not the person that we see on TV every week. He literally closes the talking point by saying he's worked up over the events of last week. Like, he's literally just selling for the heel. God forbid somebody sells for the heel.
He's the voice of the average person watching the show on television that was shocked by the events.
Putting it over. He's making Mariah seem like a bad person, which is how we should be perceiving her. I don't know. It was dumb. Like, it was like the discourse around it was dumb. It was an offhand line before she even started talking. Like,
and then you got Nigel.
Wrestling's not real, guys. Sorry to break it to you.
It's fake, guys. And you got Nigel, who's pro Mariah, even like super pro Mariah, saying, "I'll have my response on Collision." Like, just play characters, guys.
They're doing their thing. They're doing their thing.
They're selling the angle. It's okay.
Yeah. But yeah. I'm sure Mariah was not offended about Tony Schiavone calling her a bitch on commentary.
Like, you don't have to pretend you're in on the joke, fans. Just watch the fucking show.
Exactly. Something that did offend me is the fact that we had a Collision recap about the dumbest part of the show, which was the Bang Bang Gang being stripped of the belts. Please decide if the Freebird... They've clearly have made a decision now that the Freebird rule is not going to be a thing in AEW. That's their prerogative. I don't really care either way. But the will they, won't they, backwards and forward shit they've been doing for the past, 6 weeks is so fucking dumb. And I just hope Jay White heals up, because I guess it's because he's injured. That's the reports I saw. I don't have a real whole lot to say about this, other than I don't know what the fuck the Wembley's match is going to be anymore. Because I assumed it would be the Bang Bang Gang versus the Patriarchy, but it seems like they're doing that sooner rather than later.
I think it's Death Triangle.
You reckon?
I think the Patriarchy's gonna win. I think it's Patriarchy Death Triangle.
That's cool.
But I know like a long time ago, long time ago, like TK was asked, "Yo, are we ever gonna do like a Freebird thing with the tag belts in AEW?" He was like, "Absolutely not. We're not doing Freebird anything in AEW," which is fine. I don't like the New Day are one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Obviously, they thrived using the Freebird rule, but not every promotion needs to have the same rules. Like, you can you like set the rules for your promotion as long as they make sense. If they make sense, it's fine, right? But like, why did they have the moment? Did they know? Is Jay White actually injured? That's something that I'm gonna have to ask around about. I keep forgetting. I'm gonna ask around.
I have asked.
Is Jay White actually injured? Because has all this stuff been planned? Because why did they do the thing where they just made are they just being delusional heels when they made Juice 1/4 of the trio's champions? Or were they not expecting Jay to be out after they did that, and it was just like a whole joke? Like, I don't know. It's kind of confusing.
I just assumed that Jay couldn't get in Canada, so he just kind of did it there for a week. But I have no idea. I'm so in the dark about it.
Maybe. I know Jay couldn't leave the country for a little bit because he was getting his visa situation sorted, because he moved to America full time. Even when he was still in New Japan, he was in the process of getting his visa as like full-time citizenship shit sorted. But he was at Wembley last year, so I feel like that's over.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. I just hope that he's okay if he is injured. If he's not, then I don't know. Rip your booking, I guess. It's dumb.
This is not a super chat, but somebody asked off topic, but is DDT worth watching? Just got Wrestle Universe. Luckily for you, Wrestling Peter Pan, which is basically DDT's biggest show, is coming up this weekend. 21st, yeah. Konosuke Takeshita will be facing Tanaka, which will be a big match.
Yeah.
Yuno versus Mao, which are two good young wrestlers. You should check that out. Watch the show and figure it out for yourself. It's a big show.
Desperado's on the card.
Yeah, Despy's wrestling. People really like DDT. Some people, some people it's not really their cup of tea. They have great wrestlers, but they also aren't like scared to lean into like the comedy side of things.
Yeah.
So I would say check it out. Check it out. Big show this weekend. But yeah, I want to do these super chats.
Yes, I was about to say we want to get into that before we get into the last match.
Okay. Your Zora Heart, $10 super chat. We appreciate you, brother. Not being defended or having unique lanes is why everyone thinks AEW needs less mid-card belts. I agree. The TNT title not being defended on 1 to 3 shows weekly is very irritating. I agree. Mm-hmm. Darby didn't die for this. Darby didn't die for this, bro.
Darby didn't die for this.
And it's just like, bro, like every time there's a new mid-card belt introduced, it's like, yo, this belt has this unique stipulation, guys. Like, this is what we're going to do with it. And with the international title, which was the All-Atlantic title at first, we were sold on the idea that this belt could be defended anywhere across the globe. Take it to Mexico, take it to Japan, take it to England, take it to Ireland, take it wherever, right? And that's what kind of happened with Pac, because Pac is a stay-at-home merchant, so he was wrestling on the indies. Clearly, like that was never, like it was never gonna be wrestled outside of the country with the consistency of Pac, because Pac was just living outside of the country. But it was off to a good start, and I think if people just did more stuff, like when OC just randomly turned up at Ospreay's last indie show at Rev Pro,
high stakes,
and defended it. Like I feel like, and it's just like bring people in, like bring international talent in, and be like, yo, I want that belt, and they just don't do it really anymore. It's just like another mid card belt. And with the Continental Classic, like they still uphold the rules with like the time limit, and everybody's barred from ringside or you'll get fired. But like, is it really that different from the TNT title? Is it really that different from the international title? If it was up to me, bro, I'm merging the international and the continental, and I'm making it a second world championship. Like, I was always against having 2 world titles, but when the industry leader has 2 world titles and you have a roster that's even better than theirs, I think, and like look at the world title situation going on in AEW right now. Like, people need to eat right now, bro. And you're putting the belt on Danielson, which is fine. I assume you're putting it on Danielson, which is fine, but like, Hangman needs to be a champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hangman needs to eat. Swerve needs to eat. Like, there's a lot of people that should be champs right now. So it's just like, I think AEW needs to have 2 world titles. I think it's something they should adopt. But
if anything, they need an actual mid card, because they really don't have one. They just have a big hodgepodge of wrestlers.
They don't really have a mid card, bro. They have a group of push talent that always win, and then a group of talent that don't really get TV wins unless they're about to challenge for one of the mid card belts, and then so then they get a couple. If they're lucky, they'll get 2 wins. They'll probably get 1, and then they'll challenge for the international title, and then they'll lose. And it's just like, all right, bro, see you. Like, Kyle O'Reilly is an actual mid carder. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he wrestles. He gets TV wins. He wrestles big matches. He loses those. He goes back down the card, but then he wins again. So like, I just treat some other people on the card with the same care you treat Kyle O'Reilly.
Shout
and Jam, homie and Jam $5 super chat. The current feud have made the Elite lose all the heat and momentum they had at the Double or Nothing. I agree, unfortunately. They were supposed to be the big bad who have taken over. They were, but
there was no real repercussions.
They have no real foils either.
They were supposed to be the big bads who took over, but unfortunately, when Swerve was not in that storyline, you kind of had to put that to the side. So the world champions not getting cucked. But then how do you also like the NWO takeover was easy to pull off because the world championship was always hovering in the NWO. You know what I mean? But like the Elite have a ton of belts right now, and none of them are the world title. So like if they take over the show, like you got to make sure that like Swerve's the biggest thing going. You don't want another Hangman situation where Hangman's reign was good because he's having all these great matches, but it was a CM Punk and MJF show while he was the champion.
Yeah.
So I don't. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to pull off. I think,
and they don't have real foils either because like guys like Eddie Kingston are hurt, Cope is hurt, Darby was hurt for a long time. Now he's finally cleared. So guys who we would care about, who we know would ride die for AEW and would have really fiery promos with the crowd and they can get behind them, they're just not there.
They're just not there.
Yeah. Black Yakuza 94, $5 super chat. We appreciate you, brother. Y'all let too many normies into these modern AEW shows. That's why the crowds changed over time. The price for becoming more well known. Yeah, it's a weird balance, bro. It's
6 months spent appealing to the casual fan, and this is where we're at.
Hey man, this is what they wanted, man. This is what they wanted. Roadshow, $3 Canadian. We appreciate you. Mariah should press Tony next week. Would be fun to you. I agree. She should beat his ass. She should make Tony take a bump, like how Triple H killed JR in like '99 or 2000, whenever that was. She should do that, bro. Be good
too, because everyone loves Shivani too. So
yeah. He hasn't taken a bump since Adam Cole like pushed him or whatever.
I think the Bucks pushed him actually.
Real heat behind them. Did the Bucks?
They did. It was during the tag tournament. I want to say.
He might. Yeah. Mariah should beat shit out of him. She threw a shoe at him.
I'd be high, so I don't know.
Excited to be high and vibing.
Yeah, I'd be high, bro. All right.
Before we get into the last match, if you haven't, this is last call for super chats because it won't take us too long to go through the last part of Dynamite. If you haven't already liked,
was good. They made him bump and then they had him for the EVP trigger and then someone's music hit. That was a good segment. That was good. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Charlie.
It's all good. Last call for super chats. If you haven't already liked the video, please do subscribe if you haven't already. Okada versus Swerve. I will be honest, I was not excited when this was announced, not because of the match. I think Okada versus Swerve, they did really good stuff in this match and I did enjoy it. But it was the whole title versus champion, I guess. I don't enjoy them booking champion versus champion so close together when they had literally just done it as the main event of a pay-per-view. Alas, it was a very fun match. Obviously it ended in no DQ. We knew that they weren't going to go to a finish here. And the aftermath of this was fucking awesome. But before we get there, Ayo, what did you think of the match itself?
I liked this. I think that they showed that they had real chemistry together. Swerve did some more of his like herky jerky offense. I don't know, to like his finesse based offense.
Yeah.
And like Okada was keeping up with it, bro. Like he was bumping for it well. He was taking the moves well. Like it wasn't like the whole like, oh, I don't know how to do this. This is why I want Okada's one of the coaches, bro. He's a fantastic base. And I think that they showed that they have a 5-star match in them. Obviously, that's not what they were going for in this instance. They were just like, it was kind of just a showcase until the fuck finish, which I'm fine with. Like when this match was announced, I never once thought we was getting a real finish here. I don't like Okada wasn't gonna lose, and pinning Swerve would be a terrible decision. A terrible decision. I don't care what kind of running that they had. So I was fine with the DQ or the no contest, whatever it ended up being called. it was very enjoyable. It was very enjoyable. Yeah, I can't wait until they have like a real match, like a real
Yeah,
like
it did
they
make me
go
so excited.
20, 30, real finish, everything that they got type shit. But it was a good showcase for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, if Okada's still got the Continental belt and Swerve is in the Continental Classic again, if he's not world champion anymore, we could get it back. We could rerun it in December. I think
I
that's
think
whenever.
I also wanted to say I think this is the best we've seen Okada at being able to condense
Yes,
his
I do
offense
agree.
and
Yes.
approach into like TV, because you saw he kind of like struggled in the Eddie match because like Eddie didn't really like bring it, so like Okada was like
Mhm.
in control, but he was like wrestling it. He was wrestling in it like it was like a 40-minute New Japan main event, but it wasn't. It's like it's a TV match, and you can't approach these matches in the same way. But I think here Okada was just like when it was his like time for control segments and stuff, like he really was just like, all right, I gotta hit my moves, I'm gonna hit these drop kicks, I'm gonna like he was killing it, bro. I really liked it. Like I said, I can't wait for the real match.
Yeah, I do think that's a real point to that is when you put Okada in there with people that wrestle a style he's not accustomed to, he has to think creatively in the approach to the
Mhm.
match. So they should do that more. When Bandido comes back, I want him to wrestle Okada.
God, this
I miss
Bandito.
Bandito so much,
I
bro.
miss
Like,
Bandido
what's
so
today?
much.
Thursday on yeah, it
Yeah.
was Monday. Monday while I was getting work done, I was just like watching Bandito matches all
He's
day.
so
Like I watched like six
So
hours
fucking
of
good.
Bandito matches. He's like best in the world level. I love Bandito so much. I can't wait till he's back.
He's
I can't
so
believe he lost
good.
a year of his career to
I
a
know,
fucking
to a
broken wrist.
wrist injury.
To
Oh,
a
that's some shit you
broken
come back
wrist.
to from in months and you missed the whole year.
And the crazy thing is, like, we watched the match and nobody was ever like, "Yo, I think Bandito got hurt during the Takeshi
Yeah.
match." Like,
And that shit
it
was
was
gas
literally just
too.
like they just had a great match, and then like a day or two later, they were like, "Yo, Bandito broke his wrist." I was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate. See you in 2 months, bro."
Yeah, so
It's been
it's fucking a
Like
year
it's like it's
later.
been like 12, bro. It's been
yeah.
12.
It's like
It's
he's so
fucking
good. One, just purely in ring, and then just getting crowds on side for anything.
hmm
Like he's so good at crowd engagement, better than almost anybody on the entire roster. And this is a really good roster with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's like best in the world level at it. But yeah, like back to Swerve Okada.
Yeah.
Like you can tell when Okada is like in there with somebody he's never been in there with. And
Mhm.
Swerve's movements are so herky jerky and so like unorthodox. You could see in real time the light bulb going off in Okada's head. Like, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can handle this. I think I can roll with this. And then the minute it just clicked, the action was so good. Like
It
the
was
counter to a swerve stomp, which is always awesome. It's so crisp and it looks violent as shit. And then Okada's drop kicks, still the best in the business for my money.
hmm
And the action, the Rainmaker combos, the counters, all that stuff was just really, really crisp. The best TV formatting of an Okada match that we've seen.
Yeah.
And he's only going to get better from here, especially when he actually gets booked to wrestle more. And obviously, the fuck finish is going to happen because A, TV, two, neither one ever going to get pinned. So it just
Yeah.
was what it was. But, the aftermath, I was really excited for.
hmm
And then actually was one of my favorite things in the entire show. So why don't you go
Yeah,
ahead and recap it?
let's get into it. So obviously we've alluded to the fact that there was a fucked finish. After I think it was when Swerve dodged one of the Rainmaker attempts. The Bucks just kind of appeared out of nowhere and beat shit out of him. That didn't last long though because actually I think Jack Perry came out before the Acclaimed and Mark Briscoe. That's what I have in my notes. Doesn't sound right. Might be right. Not sure. But basically, loads of the people involved in Blood and Guts were basically just emptying out into the ring. There was a point where obviously Mark Briscoe and the Acclaimed did just come out, and then Hangman's music is hit, and it's just Swerve in the ring, and I was like, oh shit, we're finally gonna get them face to face again. And then Okada pulled Swerve out the ring before Hangman could get in, which is probably them doing their little, ooh, is Hangman facing Okada at Wembley bit again, because it really doesn't feel like they know who Hangman's actually facing. But they did that whole tease, which I'm kind of glad that they did it as a tease. Like putting them face to face right now, just save it for Blood and Guts. It's literally a week away. but they were brawling. It was a really great pull-apart brawl. And then Darby Allin's music hit, and he descended from the rafters, which is
It's
such a Darby Allin.
Darby!
It was incredible. I loved it. I loved like pretty much everything about this like closing 5 minutes. Marcus, pull-apart brawl, man. One of the better ones they've done in AEW, I think.
And usually pull-apart brawls kind of suck because you could tell guys do not know how to throw work punches, and they just kind of flail around. But this one was good. It was effective. It was heated. The little mini, Hangman Swerve teases were great. If they were smart, both enter last for their teams. Hangman is as Elite's secret weapon. Swerve obviously is the world champion, even in all the odds out. And then they have a big stare down, blah, 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 get into the action, try to kill each other. But Darby fucking Allin, bro. For a Dynamite episode 250, he really is AEW, and he always has been AEW. But the pop that he got when his music hit, and then he just comes down from the fucking Raptors, like staying, like, holy shit, bro. I'm very glad he adopted that from Sting. Like, of all things to adopt from, I'm so glad he adopted that, Scorpion Death Drop, all that. And he's just so good. And when they do that Jack Perry program, he's going to die in that damn cage next week. He's going to die for that TNT championship. Fun fact, I was there when he dropped the title for the first time against Miro, and he cut that promo after Dynamite where he said, I don't give a fuck about any of these other belts. I don't care if I ever win the world championship. The TNT title is my title. I will die for that championship. I will live for that championship. I'll do anything for that championship. When they do that match, especially when Jack hasn't really defended that belt all that much and do the whole scapegoat stuff, that's a great angle to go for.
Yeah.
So thinking farther past next week, I'm really excited for that if they decide to go that route. And this was a pretty good sell for Blood and Guts, even though it's a match that I don't really care for. But it'll be a good match.
In a nutshell, they did a good job selling the fact that the match is actually next week. My excitement levels, meh. But regardless of that, Ayo, what did you think of the post-match segment and the pull-apart brawl and all that?
It was awesome. It was awesome. They got right to it. They didn't do like an extended beat down on Swerve or anything. Like just started like bringing everybody out to do the brawls. Good word punches thrown out there. It was like the babyfaces got the upper hand, and then Hangman's final boss music hit. That every time I hear that song, like it grows on me more and more. Like
I really like it.
I love his heel theme. It's really good. It's really good. Made him feel like a big deal. Like the you could feel like the crowd being on the edge of their seat when his music hit. Then they had the stare down. That was great. The heels take advantage again, and then Darby's music hits. And I knew Darby was gonna show up, but like I smiled like a kid when I heard Darby's music hit. Like I never ever since like I watched Darby and like Evolve and stuff like that. Yeah. And I thought he was a good worker, but I never thought he'd be like a major factor in like a major company. Yeah. Like and like the beginning of AEW, I was like, oh, like this skinny kid from Evolve, like he made it to the big time. Good for him. I like Darby, bro. I never thought that he would mean like as much to me as like a wrestler as he does. Like, I love Darby Allin, bro. Like the Acclaim said that it was like when you think of AEW, you think of the Acclaim. No, bro. Like I think of niggas like Darby, bro. Like I think it, and like I know Marcus said that he thinks Swerve and Hangman should like be last next week, and like I would agree if the Acclaimed wasn't in the match. And I'm sorry, Bowens, but like. You just until you like I like you a lot as a worker, but until you leave Max Castle, like you just got that Acclaimed stink on you, bro. And it's just like I'm not really excited to see you do anything kind of while you're part of the Acclaimed. It's just the backs are gonna be hurting, bro. Mark Briscoe and Darby's backs are gonna be hurting in that cage, and it's nasty because we're gonna have to hear the Acclaimed's music hit twice during the let the people in, and we're gonna have to act like we're excited. Like
I like nothing.
It's like Max Caster is now in the match.
Oh my god! Thank God the babyfaces got Max Caster in the match. If they're smart, Max Caster will start it off. He'll be the first person in the cage. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about this.
That shit is like being in
nightmare scenario is going to be Max Caster and Okada to start.
Bro, Max Caster in a Blood and Guts match is like having Cheddar Bob be a frontline shooter in the army.
Could you imagine, bro? You tell Kazuya we're going 50, big bro. He's like, oh, okay, cool. And then Max Caster's in there. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine him trying to do Rainmaker counts and shit?
Oh
What he gonna
my
do? Mic drop?
god.
Unfortunately, I feel like Max Caster's shtick is the kind of thing Okada is feeding off of with some of his energy in terms of like the shit they were doing at Forbidden Door, and that is. I think it would pop him to open up the Blood and Guts match with Max. But...
What if we eat Crow and this is like objectively better than last year's Blood and Guts?
It probably will.
You know what?
That would be crazy.
The quality of workers, you can't argue that. Mark Briscoe's in this match, which
Mark Briscoe's in this match. Swerve's in this
means
match.
Okada's
in the match. The Bucks and the Bucks talked about their match last year. They said that they were disappointed with how it turned out. It wasn't the match they envisioned, but at the end of the day, they were just like happy that everybody left a match like that healthy. Yeah. But I think after being in their first ever War Games Blood and Guts match, that that wasn't their first, right?
It was.
No, the Elite one got canceled.
Yeah,
they did the Stadium Stampede instead.
Yeah, they had to do Stadium. Yeah, so so I think lessons learned. I think they have some of the best brains to ever exist in the wrestling business. So they'll probably watch that film back and be like, "This is what we should do. This is what we shouldn't do."
Don't leave the cage
and have a better match.
Don't leave the cage. Stop leaving the pissing cage during these matches. Regardless, that is next week. I'm sure most of us will probably be here for the review next week, unless anyone's got plans that I don't know of yet. I'll be here.
Thanks for checking.
That was Dynamite. Yeah, I don't know. We'll sort that out after. It's fine.
Yeah. That was Dynamite.
That was Dynamite. It was the 250th episode, and I don't know. I think it was a decent episode of Dynamite. I don't think it's been the best one that they've done in the last 2 months or so.
No.
Do I think it was the way Tony was bigging up like the 250th like landmark? Do I think that it matched that energy? No, because it didn't really feel like prime AEW to me. But not a bad episode. Can't really complain, to be honest.
Yeah, the episode was cool. I liked it. It just didn't feel like 250. Which is kind of a thing AEW.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna advertise these celebration of AEW episodes, you should actually like celebrate AEW. Like, I know Ibu caught like heat on Twitter. Well, who gives a fuck? It's fucking Twitter saying that like bring back people like Lambert so you can get booed. And I don't agree with Lambert, but I agree with like the spirit. Like, look at how excited people were when somebody like Marco Stunt was back for a one-off.
Yeah.
Like AEW is 5 years old now. They have the history to bring people back. And I don't know who, like off the top of my head, but like there's people that people be excited about just for a little backstage segment, just for like, just celebrate the 5 years that AEW's had. The most celebration that they really had of AEW was the montage that they released on Twitter before Dynamite, which was really good. But like, let's get some of that. Let's get some of that energy in the episode.
Yeah, it's like AEW is so afraid of celebrating themselves. It's so weird to me. Like, guys, you've done shit in 5 years that a lot of companies haven't done in 40.
Yeah.
Pat yourselves on the back. Kiss your own ass for a couple minutes. It's okay. Smell the roses. Like, there's so many things that we'll look back on in the next 10 years or so. Like, damn, I already witnessed that. Like, that was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. That was one of the greatest segments I've ever seen. Celebrate it. I still have a fucking poster in the back. Y'all can't really see it because of lights and everything, but I have a poster in the back of the first ever Blood and Guts they ran. I went to that show. I've seen so many crazy things. I saw Kenny win the title for the first time. I saw Sting debut. Like, I saw Moxley and Kingston versus the Bucks. Like, celebrate it, y'all.
Yeah.
It's okay.
They've done some insane shit and they don't celebrate it enough. But as an episode of Dynamite, it was decent. It didn't offend me. There was some Wembley build. Like I said, can't complain.
It's always good. Cleveland looks pretty nice too, also. With the
does it? I couldn't. Oh yeah, there was the Derby match announced against the Beast.
Yeah, Darby versus the Beast Mortos, formerly known as Black Taurus.
Patriarchy versus Bang Bang Gang for the trios titles.
Yeah, Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang. I think Patriarchy's winning.
Holograms debuting.
Hologram. I I was actually surprised. Like I've seen some Aramis matches, Aramis or whatever, but I was watching like his highlights and stuff.
Aramis,
He
yeah.
do some really cool shit. He could do.
I
some
think
really
I've
cool
seen
shit,
him
so
wrestle
I'm
live.
excited.
I believe he was
PWG.
in a match at PWG. Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
So because the name
Oh.
sounded really familiar, I was just
Also,
like,
there's
I'm
a
sure.
Takeshita, I think.
He wrestled something. He wrestled in a tournament like 2022, 2023, I think.
Oh.
For like either GCW, JCW, one of those companies. I meant
Things.
tournaments. But yeah, I've seen a couple of his matches. Cool wrestler. I'm excited.
All right,
Awesome.
let's get these super chats and then we're gonna get out of here. Last call. Please like the video. Please like the video if you haven't yet. Leave a comment afterwards. Leave your thoughts on MJF Ospreay. I want to know what you guys think because it was very divisive. So I don't think there's any wrong answers. Honestly, like if you loved it, great.
Mm-hmm.
If you hated it, great. Or whatever. The homie Shot Town Spurs $2 super chat. 90% chance Darby's going off the top of that cage. I mean, Sammy did it and survived, so I wouldn't doubt Darby doing it at all. Who would be the best person to push Darby off the cage? Kazu's not climbing up there. Jack Perry, yes. Jack Perry, absolutely. They're fucking feuding, of course. Zora Hart, $5 super chat. AEW hasn't figured out WWE's greatest move. If you repeat something enough times, your fan base will follow suit.
Psychologically
is what you want to say.
Okay, I didn't know if that was like an actual like term, even though my bachelor's was in psychology. I didn't know psychology. I didn't know if that was a typo. I was like, what is that? At that, I agree, bro. You just repeat something. Like, bro, look at how these fucking losers say PLE now. Like, what the fuck?
There's a couple of things they probably should copy from WWE, but like they just won't do it.
Yeah, there's a couple. Jonathan Gomez, $2 super chat, random, but where the fuck is Scorpio Sky? So I haven't asked about him recently, but the last time I communicated with AEW and they told me anything about Scorpio Sky was when Ethan Page was still in the company, and Men of the Year were supposed to have a tag run, but Ethan Page's deal ran up, so they were just like, oh, what do we do with Scorpio Sky? He was like, oh, actually, we don't give a fuck about him. And then they just, he just gets paid to stay home, bro. Like, he's got a lot of time left on his deal, too. He signed for like 5 years in 2022, I believe. So, so unless they cut him, unless they cut him, he's gonna be sitting home and getting paid for a while. Which, look, bro, 2024 Scorpio Sky is not a wrestler that I'm trying to see on national TV. Like, I think
stuck on Collision.
Bro, that was crazy when they gave him that Collision Industry Plant run. Then he hurt himself warming up.
This shit was hilarious. Right. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but damn,
it's not. But
bro, why? What was TK thinking giving him 5 years in 2022, bro? What did you think the next 5 years of Scorpio Sky AEW content was gonna look like? What are you okay, bro?
What was the vision?
Like, did you watch that TNT title run and like think, damn, need some more of that? He's like 40 something right now, dude. Like, you don't need him.
Yes, bro. This nigga hurt himself warming up for this was Punk's Collision. That's how long ago it was. He had an advertised Collision match, hurt himself warming up, and that was like the last we ever saw of him until he reunited with Ethan Page on the pay-per-view that he had that match with Tony Nese, and that wasn't supposed to be a one-off. Like, there was supposed to be like an actual like Men of the Year tag run on ROH or AEW. I'm not sure, but they were supposed to link back up and tag. But then Ethan Page's contract was like either ran out or was running out at the time, so they just took it. He was completely off TV and off Honor Club, so it's just like, we don't have anything to do. We don't have anything for Scorpio Sky. But
crazy,
yeah, man.
What time? Still stand by the fact that they were the right people to win the tag titles for the first time. Regardless of that, do we have any plugs? I have a plug. Really smooth segue there. But my article with Charlie Evans came out on Monday. I think it was Monday. Time just kind of blends together now. But it's an article about how intergender wrestling should be, like, first of all, that term should not be used because of all wrestling is wrestling, and how more companies should embrace it because of these are just professional athletes doing their thing, and I'm explaining it really badly. Just go read the article. I think that it was pretty good. Charlie Evans has great stuff to say on the topic. Yeah, it's pinned on my page.
Check out that article. I have nothing to plug. Will we do a Sunday show? Maybe not. We'll see. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment saying your thoughts on the match, or just any thoughts on Dynamite at all. We're almost at 10K subs. I think we're gonna do a 10K special stream. I think Monty said, but appreciate you for the support. Marcus, you have anything?
Well, I got nothing to really plug other than appreciate y'all watching this.
Yeah, thank you guys for the support as always.
All right, so and we are on our botched out of here.